Hello everyone, welcome back to Eat Right with Ebubo Christian. Today I'm here with a very beautiful lady. I'll leave her to introduce herself.
Thank you very much. I'm Veronica Lutrot Kwaku, a registered dietitian at the 37 Military Hospital, and I'm very happy to be here today.
I'm happy to have you too. Today I would want us to touch on the knowledge we currently know about meal timing and the impact on our health.
Okay. Meal timing has an influence on our metabolism, energy levels, weight management, as far as our overall health. Now, when we take metabolism, how meal timing comes into play is that during the mornings, your metabolism is very fast. So at the end of the day, it helps with insulin sensitivity and then helps your carbohydrates to be able to be utilized effectively throughout your bodily processes. And then during the evenings, metabolism slows down. So at the end of the day, if you are someone who eats late into the night, it can lead to storage of fats rather than it being used for energy. Now, the research that has come about is that it's been known that eating earlier in the day has been known to align with your circadian rhythm. When we talk about the circadian rhythm, it is your body's internal clock which regulates your sleep-wake cycle. At the end of the day, helping with metabolism and then helping you sleep better and then gut health. Now, the circadian rhythm can become disrupted by people who have shift works, people who work night shifts and all that. If you have jet lags, someone who travels to different time zones can also affect it. People who use a lot of screen time, electronic devices, as well as people with sleep-related disorders such as insomnia and sleep apnea. So we do not want that to occur. So sometimes we prefer that your meal timing must be in line with your circadian rhythm to allow for metabolism to go on smoothly. Now, how can the meal timing also affect our overall health? So we have to keep certain hormones in check.
Okay.
Insulin, ghrelin. Ghrelin has to do with your hunger hormone. We have to keep that in check as well. And cortisol levels as well. So these hormones must be balanced. When there's an imbalance, it can lead to stress to the body. We also have to look at how meal timing also affects our gut health. Also, meal timing can also help improve your sleep. And then also it can also help alleviate some chronic conditions as well, such as diabetes and heart-related conditions.
Okay, so when we talk of meal timing, there's this issue of fasting. What are the pros and cons of fasting since it's a simulation time?
So with meal frequency, we are looking at the fact that meal frequency has to do with how many meals we are able to take throughout the day. So with meal frequency, mostly we would say that it has an influence on people in different ways, in that people have a way they react to things based on their metabolic rates. We have people with energy levels as well, the activity level that they have, as well as people who are exposed to certain conditions. So we have something we call the intermittent fasting, which is more of like a window that is creating an opportunity for a time for you to eat and a time to fast. There are some methods that people use when it comes to intermittent fasting. We have the 5:2 method, which is for 5 days you decide to eat normally, and then for the 2 days you decide to fast. And then also we have what we call the 16:8 method, which is for 16 hours people decide to fast, and then for the 8 hours they eat normally. But taking into consideration the 5:2, on the 2 days of the week that the person decides to go on the fasting, it doesn't mean it's a dry fast per se, but you're cutting your caloric intake to about 500 to 600 calories.
Okay.
Now, taking that into consideration, we are asking for the advantages of intermittent fasting. It has been known to support with weight loss. It also helps with insulin sensitivity, and it can help you with your health and then boosting your metabolic rate as well. But the disadvantages of undergoing the intermittent fasting is some people are unable to complete the fasting. It can lead to hunger pains along the line. So even people who might tell you they are fasting, at the end of the day, they might end up
eating.
Yeah. So it is not always it can lead to people getting hungry most of the time. And then also it is not recommended for everyone. Pregnant women and then most people with medical conditions cannot do it. We have something we also call the grazing, which is known as small frequent meals.
Okay.
The grazing comes from the term, our herbivores and other
Yes.
animals that graze on the field.
Yes.
You don't see them grazing at one particular place. You see them moving from one place to the other, which leads to what we call the small frequent meals. You're taking small portions of food at the end of the day at different intervals, and thereby at the end of the day, you're able to meet your caloric needs.
Okay. How will I know when to eat? The frequency. You said it varies with individuals. So how can one know?
So if you are someone who has a very busy schedule, you have to know what time works best for you. You have to be able to plan, know your body rhythm, how you can work with it, and then also knowing how to spread your meals. You should be able, for someone who is diabetic, you should be able to consider eating about 2 to 3 hours at different intervals. So it's like you break your food into portions. You know that you have your breakfast. In between, you have your snack, your mid-morning snack. Then you have your afternoon meal, your mid-afternoon snack, and then also the bedtime snack as well. And then sometimes the bedtime snack, we mostly give it to those who are having conditions that need management. So because of the
Okay.
small frequent meals, they might end up needing more to meet their caloric needs. So mostly the bedtime snacks, we give energy dense foods, but then they are healthy snacks at the end of the day.
Okay. You say there are people with specific conditions that you will need the energy for. Okay, so I would want us to touch on meal planning, and then conditions like diabetes that affects the blood glucose or
Okay,
blood sugar.
so with people who have diabetes, we recommend that they spread their meals throughout the day. You have to eat at an interval, 2 to 3 hours at least. You're able to consume something to sustain you. If you are eating you have a regular eating pattern, it will align with your circadian rhythm, and it can also help at the end of the day for energy to be distributed throughout the whole body without any disruptions. So if you are someone who skips meals often, or you have an irregular eating pattern, it can cause fluctuations to your energy levels, which can make you go hypo. You can have hypoglycemia, or you can have the hyperglycemia as well. So at the end of the day, it's about eating small frequent meals. At the end of the day, you're able to meet your requirements. If you prioritize, with diabetic people, if you prioritize your carbohydrate needs, taking into consideration the complex carbohydrates,
Yes.
which take a longer time to digest. So at the end of the day, it makes you fuller, and you wouldn't have to eat for a lengthy period of time yet. So we would consider that rather than the simple carbohydrates, which are the sugars and then the sweetened beverages as well.
Okay, so earlier you mentioned metabolism and the times that are good.
Yes.
Yes, and the times that are not good. How will I know how late I should eat? Yeah.
So if you are someone who eats late, you have to take into consideration that ideally it is recommended that you finish eating by 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. That can also help. And then also, if you are someone who eats late into the night, you have to consider taking in healthy snacks and high calorie dense foods that are healthy. Because mostly late into the night, you realize that no restaurants are actually open that have serve salads, that serve fufu, palm soup at that time. Mostly you realize late into the night they have the junk foods that are still available for ordering. You come back from work, you are exhausted, no one has time, so they mostly take in the convenience foods that they can get around. So mostly eating late into the night can lead to you consuming extra calories, which at the end of the day, like I said, metabolism is slow at night. So at the end of the day, it's going to be stored as fat. So if you're not careful, eating late into the night can lead to weight gain.
Okay, so since you are dealing with the frequency and the timing, which times, or let me say, between breakfast, lunch, and supper, which ones are most important to take?
So we would consider that they would say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So
Okay.
everybody has to eat early in the day to get the amount they need, which is true. But if you are someone that doesn't really work for you, at the end of the day, it's all about personalized care, individualized approaches.
Yes.
So if you are someone who doesn't like to eat earlier in the day, at the end of the day, you should be able to spread your needs so that you meet your caloric needs. And then at the end of the day, if you're someone who also likes to eat breakfast in the morning, you have to make sure that it's heavy enough to sustain you throughout the day. But if you keep taking in, should I say, large quantities along the line, you might end up even exceeding your caloric needs, which can lead to weight gain and also health problems as well. So if we are considering the timing, we have our morning snacks by 7:30. There you wake up, you can take your breakfast. You can have your mid-morning snack. Mid-morning snack, you can have it around 10. So it can be that you can have it at a 2 to 3 hour interval.
So it always has to be personalized
It is
based on
personalized. So I
what.
cannot generalize that at the end
Yes.
of the day. It should be able to work within your means. So at the end of the day, to meet your work schedules or anything you have to cater for.
Awesome. This is a very, very interesting topic because most of the time people don't even know how to go around the meal timing and then the frequency, because in the long run it has effect on their BMI, their
Yes.
body mass index, and it can affect them in getting other diseases as well. So I'm glad you are touching on this. Any takeaway for our viewers?
Sure. So what I would like to let you take home is that at the end of the day, people focus on weight gain, weight loss, and all of that. People ask, how can I lose weight? How can I gain weight? It's all about your circadian rhythm. Follow something that works best for you. Follow your body. See how your body reacts to things. See how your body works with you. And you follow that rhythm and then see what works best for you. Follow a balanced diet. It should be small, frequent meals at regular intervals. So that at the end of the day, you are spreading your meals in such a way that you don't get too hungry or
Too full. Yeah.
Yes. And then also, we see mostly if you don't eat well, sometimes skipping your meals and all of that can affect your hormone levels. We have the appetite hormones and we have the satiety hormones. So if you are not careful, most people who eat late into the night, your ghrelin levels are high. That is the hunger hormones, because you deprive yourself of sleep and the body needs to be resting at that point. So if you are awake at that time, your hunger hormone too is also awake, and therefore leading you to have poor food choices as well. And then also your leptin levels will go low. That is the satiety hormone. So you will see that most people wake up in the morning and are even still hungry. That is due to that.
And tired.
Yes.
Because the system has been working whilst they are sleeping.
Yes.
Okay.
So you just have to follow the rhythm. Just know how your body works, how your body is able to take in most of these nutrients and flow with it, and you should be okay.
Thank you, viewers, for watching till the end. As you heard the beautiful Veronica, we want you to eat right. However, the frequency and the timing is very important so that your body can get all the nutrients that it requires. It has been Eat Right with Ebubo. Make sure to like, comment, and share. See you in the next episode. Bye.